All right. Welcome back, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. Hoy es el día 10. Yes. It is day 10. Let's get right into it. This has been a long day. This is the litmus test for the peak day. So this is our possibly the longest session we can have. So we're already crossing close to 8 hours. Or like half an hour from 8. I don't want to reserve about an hour and a half before it turns over 8 hours. I think 8 hours is a cap, right? However, we are trying to liberate some extra time to add a few more, another activity to the end of this. So we're gonna see if we can figure it out somehow. All right, so let's go over yesterday's evening stuff and yesterday's session, right? Ask how people are. Now, this was a bit of a mix stuff. So one of them was asking someone's name, right? So, uh, we have ¿Cómo se llama usted? Also an introduction to formal. Somewhat formal. And then we have ¿Cómo te llamas? Feeling in terms of how they are, we have some words like cansado or cansada. Feliz. Feliz. Tired, happy, bien. Also, the pivot between ser and estar, or like feelings and stuff. I guess nombre. We'll put nombre here. More greetings. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. More farewells. Hasta luego. Hasta mañana. Oops. Okay. There was a bunch of repeats for what they're doing. It's a shortened unit as well. I didn't check how many things there are. There were double posting for the two genders, gender agreements. Did yeah, señor, right? And then señora, señorita. Mal, mal, mal. That's fine for now. I don't think there was too many things. I can't think of anything else. There wasn't that much, was there? Okay, so yesterday we only had three podcasts. The first one was, might as well go off their title. I need to come up with a routine for how to do this part. Okay, so the first podcast was Another Guest. It's called Another Guest. Sure enough, it was a Lily section. The guests basically, it's taught Lily with strangers, right? Strangers with Lily, I think is what that's called, or something like that. Strangers with Lily, or Lilies with strangers. Basically, a talk, right? So that person introduced themselves, talked about what they are, like how they feel, and largely deals with being tired by studying a lot, right? Lots of studying. They know of a professor, they're a student, and they have a professor, a Spanish professor that's Americano, interesting enough. And then Lily at the end, with her apathy, say like, the next, gee, nice to meet you. Now, are you gonna tell me your hobbies next, right? Which is what I'm expecting, actually. So that was a style remark from Lily. 2 was Falstaff again. Falstaff's Guide to Humans. And it was 2 people talking, and one person was tired. And of course, they talk about coffee. But since they're tired, they're gonna leave and take rest, right? And then Falstaff mentioned, well, you know, humans have a weird way of expressing when they're not well, right? When they're not well. But for bears just yell, right? Just roars and then go on with their day, you know? And then the third one was Lynn, Lazy Lynn, right? Late Nights with Lynn. And once again, it was about a person who's talking about basically, again, it's like studying. Almost all of them frame around studying really hard. And Lynn made the comment like, it sounds exhausting just hearing it, right? It's a person who kept talking about how they're studying a lot and they need to study and they don't have they study every day, that kind of thing. Not too different. Not that too different. So pretty much, actually some of them don't even use any of this stuff. It was more dealing with all the stuff you learned so far. I feel like I'm missing something here. Is that really all we went through? Alright. That's as much as I remember off the top of my head. Let's go look. See. It's on the lower side yesterday. Let's look. Oh, ocupada. I forgot about oku. So busy. Yeah, te llama, se llama. ¿Cómo estás? Oh, forgot about saying how are you. Esta mañana cansada. Como cansada es. Oh, yep, that's it. That's really all there is. So I missed Ocupado. Okay. Alright. Express travel needs. ¿Tienes el boleto? ¿Tienes el boleto? Sí, yo tengo el boleto. Okay. Yo necesito mi pasaporte. ¿Tienes la maleta? Okay, now we're going back. This is earlier chapter. We have all of these are earlier things. Necesita un taxi, señor? Okay, this is combining the last unit with earlier. Interesting. So, ¿quieres más agua? So, más is being introduced again to, or not being introduced, but in addition to like muy, mucho and stuff. Remember that in Spanish verbs change depending on the person, right? Necesito, necesitas, necesita. Notice that él, ella, and usted always have the same verb form. Okay, that was what was happening in last unit, right? Last unit. Quiero, quieres, and quiere. Okay, so they're just pointing you to that the usted, which is often used for formal situations, shares their conjugation
Necesita.
with él and ella subject, but it really does mean you. Just a quirk. Okay, we have 5 here, and a podcast, and 2 stories. All right, let's get to it. Burning the midnight oil now. El café. That's interesting. Where you have el café. La banana.
La banana.
Yo quiero pan.
Yo quiero pan. Okay, so we already have this. There's a bit of a mix there.
El té.
El té. El té. El té.
Gracias. Yo no quiero un té.
Gracias. Yo
Un
no quiero. No quiero un té.
Él quiere pan.
Él quiere pan. I don't think we conjugated querer yet. That's why they're doing this. Él quiere pan. We only had quiero, so they're probably doing quieres and quiere.
Él quiere una banana.
Él quiere una banana.
Un café, por favor.
¿Quiere leche? Yeah, so they're doing the conjugations with
¿Quieres
quiere.
agua?
¿Quieres agua?
Él quiere más pan.
And then más. Él quiere más pan. Okay. I'm hungry. Más. And then, you know, to be a little bit different from muy and mucho.
Sí, yo quiero más leche.
Sí, yo quiero más leche. I'm not sure if they're gonna do like a guidebook thing for más, mucho, and muy.
¿Quieres un café?
¿Quieres un café? No, gracias. No quiero más azúcar, azúcar en mi café. That's actually kind of cute.
¿Quieres?
¿Quieres un té?
Té.
Okay.
Quiero
Quiero
un
plátano. Plátano. It's more like a plantain, like green
plátano.
but it's still a banana though. So I kind of get why they're using plátano as well.
¿Quieres
¿Quieres
una banana?
banana? So we got 2 plantains and banana. Okay. 大丈夫です. El taxi. Okay, so we're kind of like rehashing some words now. So el dinero. We already know.
¿Necesitas agua?
Necesitas agua. More conjugation, right? We kind of did this as well as we were going. El carro. El carro. El carro. 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 Nope.
Carro.
Still a little stiff. I can kind of feel it though. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Tú necesitas dinero.
Tú necesitas dinero. Yes, please.
Yo necesito un carro.
Yo necesito un carro. Okay.
Yo necesito un taxi, por favor.
Yo necesito un taxi, por favor.
José, ¿necesitas un taxi?
José, ¿necesitas un taxi? Oh, jeez. Okay.
Luis, ¿necesitas pan?
Tengo una falda. No, necesito más café. Oh, that's fair enough.
Necesito ayuda.
Ayuda. So to help. Or in this case, I need help. Ayuda for help, the noun version. Ayuda. I need help. In this case. But I'm guessing ayudar is going to be
Ayuda.
introduced sometime. Ayuda.
La niña necesita agua.
Okay.
Él no necesita más dinero.
Él no necesita más dinero. Says no one. I'm kidding. Él no
necesita.
Oops.
Necesita.
Ne? Oh,
Él.
wait. Ne?
Usar.
Usar. He does not need, like, use. Más. Dinero?
Dinero.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's just need
Necesita. Usar.
Sorry, I forgot. I'm not conjugating. We're not using an adjective. Él no necesita más dinero. Usar, so to use. So we got usar as well.
Necesito.
Soon.
Ayuda.
Necesito ayuda. Okay.
Necesita un
Un
taxi.
Señor.
Señor.
Okay. We're fine. El teléfono. Okay. El bolígrafo.
El bolígrafo.
¿Tú necesitas un bolígrafo?
Oh, it's a review actually. Este sombrero.
Sombrero.
La computadora.
Es mi computadora.
Es mi computadora.
Yo uso el carro.
Oh, there's usar. Yo uso el carro. Okay.
Yo uso mi teléfono.
Yo uso mi teléfono.
Tú usas el carro.
¿Tú usas el carro? Okay. ¿Tú usas el teléfono en la escuela?
Teléfono.
No, yo no uso mi teléfono.
No, yo no uso mi teléfono.
¿Usted usa el teléfono?
Usted usa... Okay, so they're throwing in usted every once in a while too. ¿Usted usa el teléfono? Oops.
No, ella no usa la computadora.
I just realized that was gerund. That's interesting. They gerund the interpretation.
No, ella no usa la computadora. No,
No, ella
no
no usa
usa
la computadora.
La niña no usa un bolígrafo.
La niña no usa un bolígrafo.
Yo necesito usar el carro.
Okay, there's the infinitive. Right. Yo necesito usar el carro.
Usted.
Usted. Usted usa el teléfono.
Teléfono.
Yo necesito
usar mi computadora.
No.
No. Guess.
Yo.
Yo
No.
necesito
Usar
el carro. Okay. We're fine. Off we go. El pasaporte. La maleta.
Yo tengo un carro.
Yo tengo un carro. Carro.
Sí, yo tengo un carro. Sí,
Sí,
yo,
yo tengo un carro.
La maleta.
oh,
La cartera.
la cartera.
cartera.
¿Tienes el teléfono?
¿Tienes el teléfono?
Yo necesito mi boleto.
Boleto. Mi boleto.
Sí, yo tengo el boleto.
Sí, yo tengo el boleto.
¿Tienes una cartera?
¿Tienes una cartera?
¿No tienes el boleto?
Sí, el boleto está aquí.
¿Tienes el pasaporte? Ella tiene una maleta.
Ella tiene una maleta. ¿Qué maleta?
Señor, ¿tiene usted el boleto?
Señor, ¿tiene usted el boleto?
Yo no necesito una maleta.
Maleta.
Él
Él
tienes el
pasaporte.
pasaporte.
Ah. Oh. Ay. Tiene.
Yo tengo un pasaporte. Él
Article. Yeah.
Él
Él tiene.
tiene la
Oops.
el
Okay. That's fine. Conjugation error.
Él tiene el pasaporte.
Juan, ¿necesitas usar el carro?
Okay. Usted quiero el pasaporte.
Quiero.
Tiene. Do you want? Oh,
Tú
whoops.
no quieres pan.
I'm thinking of a whole different question there. ¿Tú no quieres pan?
La niña no usa un bolígrafo. La niña
La niña
usa.
usa. No usa
No.
un bolígrafo.
La niña no usa un bolígrafo.
Señor, ¿tiene usted el boleto?
Yo no uso el carro. Yo.
Yo no
No
uso carro.
Carro.
El
El-
carro.
¿La niña necesita agua?
Okay.
No, yo no necesito usar el carro.
No,
yo.
no necesito usar el carro.
¿Tienes mi pasaporte?
Yo no tengo tu pasaporte. ¿Oh?
El señor Pérez no
Ok.
tiene el boleto. El
El señor.
El señor Pérez no tiene el boleto.
El señor Pérez
No,
tiene
tiene boleto.
el
El-
boleto.
El señor Pérez no tiene el boleto.
I totally forgot you can put el in front.
¿No tienes el boleto?
Sí, el boleto está aquí. Tiene. Okay. Of course, we're gonna legend it. What else could you do, man?
Bruno necesita usar el carro.
Bruno necesita usar el carro. Okay.
Yo,
Yo
Usa
mi
mi computadora.
computadora. Ah.
Sí, yo tengo una maleta.
Uso. Sí, yo tengo una maleta. I used the
José,
conjugation.
¿necesitas un taxi?
I didn't let him complete. That was probably necesito, and this is probably necesito.
Necesito
Or-
más manzanas.
One's
Ana.
one's probably necesita and one's necesitas, and I just went for it. Necesito más manzanas, Ana. Dos o tres. Okay. El hombre necesita ayuda con la maleta.
Maleta.
Yes, that qualifies.
¿Tú
Briefcase.
tienes mi cartera?
¿Tú tienes mi cartera?
Miguel come una ensalada y banana. Él es cubano y es un gato elegante.
Es un gato.
Señor, ¿tiene usted el boleto?
Yeah, it's Duolingo Spanish. Señor, ¿tienes usted el boleto?
¿Necesitas ayuda, Bruno? Necesito. Necesitas.
Mm. Miguel, ¿quieres más azúcar en tu café?
El señor gato es cubano y quiere más café. Él bebe café sin leche y sin azúcar.
El señor gato. Gato. No sugar?
El niño necesita un bolígrafo. El
El
niño
El niño necesita
necesita
un
un bolígrafo.
bolígrafo.
El niño necesita un bolígrafo.
Un bolígrafo.
El señor Pérez no tiene el boleto.
El señor Pérez no. Sí. What?
Tienes.
Oh.
Tiene. Tienes. Tiene.
¿Tú quieres más té?
¿Quieres?
¿Más té? Yo no quiero más té.
Quiero.
¿Usas el carro, Juan?
¿Usas el carro? Juan. Yo tengo.
Tienes.
Tú tienes.
Tú no tienes el dinero. Tú
Tú
No
no
tienes
tienes el dinero. Oh. El hombre
usa
el teléfono.
teléfono.
All right. Off to our story. Where's your girlfriend? All right.
¿Dónde está tu novia?
Bay's girlfriend. Where you live, you never use the tú as a subject, only as a possessive? That's fair. That's understandable.
Bea está en el aeropuerto. Ella habla con el hombre del mostrador.
Mostrador.
Hola, ¿necesitas ayuda?
Sí, voy para Barcelona. Y quisiera estar al lado de mi novia en el avión.
Dang. Y quisiera estar al lado Lado de mi novia en el avión. Jeez. They really went for it.
Está bien. Tenemos 2 asientos juntos.
Perfecto.
¿Dónde está tu novia?
That's a good question.
No sé. ¿Puede ayudarme a buscarla?
Can you help me look for her?
¿Cómo es?
Ella es alta. Tiene el pelo negro.
Okay. Black hair. Wait.
Ella es...
Yeah, it's fine.
Está bien.
Le gusta hacer deportes y bailar.
Yeah, that's a little too much. That's.
A ella le encantan los animales.
I'm not sure if that's helpful, but you know.
Pero come demasiado chocolate.
Okay.
Está bien. ¿Cómo
¿Cómo se llama
tu
tu
novia?
novia? She said everything. She told him everything except her name.
Ah, yo no sé.
¿Qué?
¿No sabes cómo se llama tu novia?
¿Nani?
No tengo novia todavía.
No tengo novia todavía.
¿Puede ayudarme a buscar una?
Oh. What? What is... Well, that was a weird turn of events. What? Well, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Asientos. Mostrador. Mostrador. And aeropuerto. Bailar. And animales. Wow. So she was describing her dream girlfriend. Jeez. Couldn't have expected that. Alright, we gotta legend that again. Gotta go take it back.
¿Dónde está tu novia?
Okay.
Bea está en el aeropuerto.
That makes sense now. It's a joke. ¿Dónde está tu novia? Okay. Or it was figurative as opposed to literal. That was pretty good. Had a roller coaster ride for that.
Ella habla con el hombre del mostrador.
Hola. ¿Necesitas ayuda?
Sí, voy para Barcelona y quisiera estar al lado de mi novia en el avión.
Yeah, so she did say. Interesting. I think that this is what threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute. Huh. And she has 2 seats. Oh, but she was only asking if there were 2 seats. Right? Hang on, what is it?
Está bien. Tenemos 2 asientos juntos.
Perfecto.
Yeah, so she didn't actually buy 2 seats. She was just, she was making it so that there's 1 seat that's empty. That's interesting.
¿Dónde está tu novia?
Yeah.
No sé. ¿Puede ayudarme a buscarla?
¿Cómo es?
Ella es alta. Tiene el pelo negro.
Está bien.
Le gusta hacer deportes y bailar. A ella le encantan los animales, pero come demasiado chocolate.
Está bien. ¿Cómo se llama tu novia?
Ah, yo no sé.
¿No sabes cómo se llama tu novia?
No tengo novia todavía. ¿Puede ayudarme a buscar una?
Oh, this is kind of cute. Juntos. Juntos. Habla mostrador. Voy. Asientos. Okay. All right. Now that we got back to the drills.
Te.
De
Feliz.
feliz.
Nombre.
Nombre. Libro.
Ella quiere una banana.
Ella quiere una banana.
Yo quiero más pan.
Yo quiero más pan. Ay.
Ella quiere un té.
Ella quiere un té. Té.
Yo quiero una banana.
Alright, I gotta make sure I turn this on. Okay. Yo quiero una banana. Okay.
¿Quieres?
¿Quieres?
Banana. Por favor, yo quiero un té.
Por favor. Yo quiero un té.
¿Quieres un café?
Café.
Señora, ¿quiere más queso con la ensalada? ¿O más pan?
La señora... ¿Ne? I guess. Yeah. I mean... Alright. Miguel, ¿quieres más azúcar en tu café?
Hola, disculpe. Quiero más café con leche y la cuenta, por favor.
¿Dónde está la persona? En el restaurante. Right. Yo quiero un pan de banana y una taza de café, por favor.
Él quiere un té. Quiere. Quiero. Quiere.
Oh, Oscar.
Tú.
¿Tú no quieres pan?
pan.
Right. Let's look at something else. Yo no quiero más pan, por favor. Oh. 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 Try saying yo more like show. I mean, it's more like Joe, but yeah. For me, anyways. But yes, I get it. I get what you mean by show. I don't particularly think I use show like too much in general, but I guess I'll keep that in mind. Again, the whole pronunciation thing, not it'll come with listening to people. Let's see. Ella quiere una banana. Oh gosh, keep forgetting the beginning question mark. Good enough for me. Yeah. ¿Quieres? ¿Quieres un té? Dang it. Beginning question mark.
En.
En.
Ayuda.
Ayuda.
De.
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 Oh, you.
De.
De. De. And versus de. Oh
Yo
my
necesito
gosh.
un taxi, por favor.
They totally did me versus did. Yo necesito un taxi, por favor. They totally did me twice.
Cansado.
Cansado. I saw that coming though.
Carro.
Carro. Tricky from when learned from we used to translate as desde. Oh yeah. Yeah. I haven't used T before. I actually haven't seen that. T is new to me. Interestingly enough. I don't think I've ever learned T. Funny enough.
Escuela.
Escuela. Escuela, estudiar. Estudiar.
Gracias. Yo no necesito dinero.
Dinero.
Quiero.
Quiero. I see what you did there.
Él no necesita más dinero.
Él no necesita más dinero.
Él necesita ayuda.
Necesita.
Necesita.
¿Verdad?
Señora, ¿necesita usted un taxi?
Señora, ¿necesita usted un taxi? Let's see. Are we doing ma'am? We're doing ma'am. Okay.
Bruno, tú quieres un sombrero caro. ¿Necesitas dinero?
Bruno quiere comprar un sombrero. Yeah, I mean, I don't see.
José, ¿necesitas un taxi?
José, ¿necesita un taxi? Okay.
Ella necesita un carro.
Ella necesita un carro. Oh no. That sounds like that. Yeah. That sounds like that. But that can also sound like that. And that. So one is that. One is that and one is that. Like that versus that versus that. Right. That. Kind of like that, or in Japanese, that versus that, right? Japanese sounds like both as well. So the one that they were saying was T, that versus that, and probably the mic probably won't really capture that anyways. So. And I think in terms of people who learn Japanese, they usually just default to de. And so de and de. Learning Japanese will help you with Spanish and vice versa. I disagree. But for me, yes, I actively do that. But I disagree that learning Japanese will guarantee that it will help people. Actually, most people end up defaulting not to distinguishing between the sounds. At least from my experience so far. But it will probably be okay. It'll still be okay. Listening is a whole different story though. Because you don't get to choose what people prefer. You kind of learn it from context. A lot of times if you take the recording and you put like the people's "te" and "te" together, it will seem like they're going back and forth. But because you've listened to enough context, you automatically hear what you want to hear, which is if they're saying "te" or "te," right? I think that happens with Spanish as well, English as well. When it comes to like the really subtle nuances between, well, English is a little bit more dramatic, right? Little Little versus little. Little and little sounds a little bit more further apart. I think you have to be conscious about it in order for it to help you. But I don't think, I personally don't think that native speakers end up paying attention to it by making conscious effort. I think they normalize it with context, and then you hear it when you want to hear it. Kind of like asking a native speaker to hear a foreign speaker if they're saying it or tit.
Ella necesita un carro.
Ella necesita un carro. Señor, ¿usted quiere comprar un sándwich? Necesita dinero. I guess that works. Yo necesitas. Disculpe, señora. ¿Necesita ayuda? Ayuda. ¿Dónde? ¿Quiero? ¿Dónde está el... What the... Okay, that's fine. I wasn't reading the situation. Does she need a car?
Ella
necesita un carro. Or that's a question. Okay. You... necesito... Oh, necesitas... Oops. Más pan. Oh. Necesito un carro. Necesito un taxi, por favor.
Americano.
Ayuda. Usar.
Bolígrafo.
Tú no usas la computadora.
¿Tú no uso? Usa.
Díaz. Usas. Señor, ¿usted usa el teléfono?
Señor, ¿usted usa el teléfono?
No, yo no uso mi teléfono. Uso.
No, yo no necesito usar el carro.
No, yo no necesito usar el carro.
¿Tú usas el teléfono?
Now this one's funny. That's interesting. Are you using the phone?
Yo no uso mi teléfono. Mary, tú no tienes un teléfono. ¿Quieres mi teléfono?
Mari no tiene un teléfono? I mean, yeah. It says right there. Yo uso. Tú usas.
Tú.
I'm kind of curious. No.
Carro.
El carro. Oh. Tú
Usas.
El
Carro.
Carro. Ella usa. Yo uso. Okay.
Tú no usas la computadora.
Tengo un examen. Examen y necesito usar un bolígrafo azul.
La niña no usa un bolígrafo.
Bolígrafo. ¿Tú necesitas ayuda? ¿Quieres usar mi teléfono? La niña no. Oh. No usa. I'm thinking of Usopp from One Piece right now. Polígrafo. Por favor. Necesito usar el carro. Señor. Oops. Señor. Usas. You had to reboot, somehow your Chrome instance glitch and couldn't type anything at all? Oh, that's an interesting bug. Señor, usas el teléfono? Oh. Hold up. I feel like, let's try... Señor. Usas el teléfono. Oh, right. We could use usted. That's right. I would probably use usted in this one. Not sure if Duolingo would accept it, but Señor está usando el teléfono is natural here. Yeah, that's what I would say too. Especially when they interpret it as using the phone. So they were already, and I would say they would accept it. The reason why they didn't use usando is because they haven't introduced it yet. Señor was like polite enough. Usted would be redundant, overly polite. I kind of disagree with that. Because you use señor, you would follow by making the politeness agree with señor. At least that's how I went about it. So like, for example, in English, I mean, like, this is probably preference, but you're switching voices. It's kind of like in Japanese, if you switch voices, you're suddenly being casual because you already decided to start polite. Yeah, that's what I would think. I don't think it's redundant, but being consistent. And also, usando, gerunds aren't introduced yet. So they'll probably replace that phrase with usando in the future. But they're using concepts that are already being introduced, but not concepts that haven't been introduced yet. So I'm guessing they will use gerunds soon at some point. But yes, I would typically, even the way they interpret it in English, it would typically be using gerunds.
Maleta.
Maleta. I mean, that might be a Spanish thing, a cultural thing, but I'm usually redundantly over polite, I suppose. Or I'm more consistently polite. Señor, like, nan-san, so that usted is too much for you? That's fair enough. That's fair enough. It might be a cultural thing. In Japanese, it would be kind of weird to be polite and then suddenly be casual. So, and in Chinese, same thing. And for my English, same thing. So, might be a cultural thing. Like, when you say Mr. and then suddenly like, yo, what's up? Like, Mr., what's up? Or, Mr., how are you doing? As opposed to what's up. So it's kind of like, it's not deflating the need for politeness, but be more consistent with politeness. For me, personally. That's my interpretation, anyways.
Maleta.
They accept both. Obviously, you can go about your way. When I address someone politely, I follow through, as opposed to making an excuse for not being more polite.
Maleta.
Maleta.
De.
De.
Pasaporte.
Pasaporte.
Libro.
Libro.
Yo
And
necesito mi
for the record, I have
pasaporte.
no idea what Spanish people do around, but for me, I'm just saying what I would typically do. By mixing of different cultures. Yo necesito mi pasaporte.
Mal.
Mal.
Mi.
Mi.
Estudiante.
Estudiante. Cartera.
Cartera.
Yo tengo el pasaporte.
Yo tengo el pasaporte. Have you ever been turned off by people being too polite? Vanish or vanish? Yeah, I that's a question that I probably want to ask you, Nico. Have you ever been turned off by someone who's being too polite? Because I think when it comes to my, I guess, Asian side of things, or especially what I resonate with Japanese, is being polite is the default. So it takes less effort to be polite than it is to be casual. Yo tengo el pasaporte. Pasaporte.
Yo no tengo mi pasaporte.
Pasaporte.
Yo necesito
mi boleto.
boleto.
Yo no necesito una maleta.
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 Ella tiene una maleta.
Ella tiene una maleta. This is I guess there is something that I want to say about politeness. There's a difference between being overly polite and being a suck up, like a sycophant. I think I'm more on the formal side for the most part. Most of the time when I speak to someone, especially a stranger, I'm formal. I guess the word I'm looking for is formal as opposed to polite. But I guess sometimes they get intermixed, right? Being formal can be seen as being polite, but I tend to stay formal. Ella tiene una maleta. Like, I'm not like complimenting the person. You can approach someone and say something like, Señor, mi podría ayudar con, and sounds very polite, but better than Señor usted. Sounds a bit like you. But in that case, you didn't say tú. So you're comparing usted without saying tú. So if you're gonna say Señor me podría ayudar con, then you just dropped the usted already. But an accurate comparison is Señor tú me podría ayudar con. Now they're both awkward in terms of the you. Like I don't think that's an accurate comparison. But I get what you mean. It's like saying you, I suppose. But one has one and one doesn't. So yeah, it makes sense. You would say the other thing. Unless you want to compare it with tú, which one's more awkward, tú or usted? Maybe this is different, but what is this called? What is it called when you call someone's attention? Also, if you say, hey, señor, usted sabe si, that sounds nice, so it's context, I guess. That's what I'm about to say. I'm about to say that. Duolingo doesn't pause when you're calling out, and it's called, there's this part of speech, it's called what part of speech is calling someone? Mention. Forgot what it's called. We learned this in Japanese too, because Japanese Duolingo does this a lot in Japanese as well. Interjection? Demonstrative? Not demonstrative. But the declarating thing. What part of speech is... Gemini is so terrible now. But I think it's not in... I don't know what it's called. I'll find out later. But if you're calling someone's name, so señor, right? Señor, pause, and then the rest of the phrase. It's what I'm hearing in my head. Exactly what you just said. The brief pause, and then you proceed. So then I would say usted sabe si, etc. Right? But that's also, you could compare it with señor, and then use who in its spot, because you're comparing usted and nothing else in the casual form. So if you're in the casual form, you will use tú, or dare I say use other things of you, but you know, most of the time I just drop the pronoun anyway, so this isn't this is probably being a little bit extra, even though I probably don't even do that habitually. Just interesting thoughts though. Tiene una maleta. They did this in the Japanese course as well. Like you use, or like, hey, that person, and then that person again. And they also flip it around sometimes. So it's pretty clear that they might be using interjections in between. Like the difference between, if you had to say Juan, he is here. So in Japanese, you could say this without he, but is it Juan is here, or is Juan he is here? And in Japanese, when you're doing this is a Duolingo thing. I'm not sure. It's not really relevant in like within context, but you could say Juan, someone else who happens to be male is here. Not Juan is here. Right? Not Juan is here, but Juan, he is here. That other person is here. And that comes up a lot in Japanese. So I'm guessing it's going to come up in these Duolingo exercises too, where when they have a comma, they're adding a pause in it. You know?
Tú tienes.
Tú tienes mi
cartera.
It's a weird thing. I still think it's relatively weird. I'm not sure if Spanish doesn't... Does Spanish have that problem though? I don't think Spanish has that problem, thanks to the use of pronouns. In Japanese, earlier in Japanese, you're like, wait, one sentence doesn't mean the other sentence, because you can infer pronouns all the time. So it's like, wait, is that saying Juan is here, or is you're telling Juan that someone else is here? ¿Tienes el teléfono?
¿Tú tienes mi cartera?
¿Cartera?
Tengo mi maleta, mi pasaporte y mi... No. ¿Dónde está mi boleto?
Yeah, see, there's no pause, so it's weird. Like, they just run together. Don't worry about it. Tengo mi maleta. Okay. Tengo mi maleta, mi pasaporte, y mi... Oh no, ¿dónde está mi boleto? Right? La persona no tiene el boleto. Right? Yo tengo, tú tienes.
Él tiene el boleto y el pasaporte. Tienes.
Oh, yeah. Why? Tengo un boleto. Oh, me. Whoops. I didn't read the sentence. I don't want to talk about it. But you know what? I'm kind of curious. If I just type tienes una maleta. Oh, whoops. I meant tiene. Hold up. No, tengo mi... This one is not what I wanted to test. Hold. This one. Okay, yeah. So if you omit all the pronouns, you're still okay. Unless you have to specify who you're talking about at a later time. Interesting.
¿La niña necesita agua?
El niño no necesita un carro.
Carro. ¿Eh? No. No necesito. Usar el carro. And I'm... Oh, wait. Yeah, and I think this is fine too. ¿Usas? Yeah, so that would be like using tú here, but they don't have tú here as part of the thing because Juan is inside the question mark. So if they decide, and it's hard to represent it in English, but if they had Juan, comma, and then the rest, like this, they would commonly add tú in here. But since Juan is going, in this case, is inferring it's inside, they don't add the correct answer, and not the alternative answer does not include tú or usted. So that's how they differentiate between if there's a pause, an address pause versus a not address pause.
¿Quieres?
We just go with quieres. No quieres.
No.
No quieres pan.
Pan.
El niño no necesita un carro. This one I'm not sure. I should test this. Let's see. Señor
Pérez.
Pérez. Señor Pérez no tiene el boleto. Oh, they do. Okay. El señor. Okay. Worth the test. Oh yeah, here we go. So now in this one, for whatever reason, when this is in the beginning in English, this is a wait, I thought I might have remembered what it's called. Oh no. Dang it. I don't know what it's called. So I thought I might have figured out. But this, in the beginning, they always make it a call out to the person and then follow up with a question. So then you have usted in it. Or you could have two in it if you want. But it happened in Japanese for a while until they stopped doing that. Are you using the telephone? Usted. I have a choice of usted.
Usted.
¿Quiere usted leche? That's just a bit weird. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Español. Yeah. Turn. It's March. We start our third and final language.
Usa.
Usted. Oh, and this is the usando, right? Usando. Usted usa el teléfono. They're interpreting this here. This is usando as well. So I would use usando here. Even the way they're interpreting it. Okay, so we already tested, so it's fine. Oh no, wait. Did we test this? Oh, whoops. It says, do you want? My bad. Why final language? Because I won't have enough time in my earthly world on this planet to do more than these languages. Just the time where Duolingo remember to put the comma, they decide to change places between usted and quiero. I know, right? Most of this stuff won't be it's not these aren't hard fast rules. I think these are one of the things that will, if you're not used to it, I can see why people they can be very angry or worried that they find out later like, oh, this is just weird. And I'm like, I understand. I totally understand. I think Japanese had the same things and Chinese had the same thing. So I guess I got used to it. Not that we do it. Can't wait for us to talk in Chinese for one time. Yeah. Some time later, I guess. We agreed probably 2026 or something, right?
El
El
señor Pérez.
Perez. I think they'll do it later. As well. But I think it's an English thing. I feel like it's more of trying to create English phrases, but you can notice these over time. El señor Perez no tiene
el boleto.
Quiere. There was already another weird one as well, but I don't remember it. It has something to do with asking someone something and then using their name afterwards. It'll probably come up at some point. El taxi.
Yo.
I don't have a pen. Sorry, I'm thinking of these things in Japanese right now.
No.
Yo no
tengo. Yo.
no tengo mi bolígrafo. Eli Birome? Interesting. I don't know. Bolígrafo kind of sounds cool. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I totally in Spanish class just say pen. Pen. Like tengo mi pen. I think pen works well enough with other languages, especially like Spanish and even Japanese. Pen just fits right in. But yeah.
¿Quieres una banana?
What is Fujanese? Bait? Bait doesn't sound as good as pen. Kind of like pan. Pan just needs to go everywhere. I'm kidding.
¿Quieres una banana?
¿Quieres una banana? Wait. Oh, I must have typed my diphthong incorrectly. Fine.
Sí.
Sí. Tengo un carro. We're just omitting all the pronouns. Necesito. Now that we know we can do it. Ayuda.
Bruno necesita usar el carro.
Usar. Ella usa. Yo uso.
No, ella no usa la computadora.
Computadora. Do you have another word for computadora? And auto, yes. Yeah, auto. I would use auto as well. Carro is for, yeah. Yep. They do? I use auto. In class, in Spanish class, we also use auto. Computadora is for 90s and early, yeah. What do we do now? PC? Yeah, I was about to say. At this point, it's PC, right? I mean, if Japanese people are doing pasokon, you gotta at least PC. Actually, how is it pronounced? Just PC? PC? But you can say computadora too. Okay, I see. I'm more of a PC guy, you know? Imagine hearing whatever computadora computer is in katakana. Oh, con. Oh, you say? Oh, that's kind of funny. Pese. Sorry, pese. That's kind of funny that you can use pese. You can use katakana, katakana for the writing, or kana. Sorry, kana in hiragana. Pese. Interesting. No pasokon, huh? I'm kidding. I wouldn't be surprised if paso I wouldn't be surprised if in like another 2 years, Japanese people just shrink pasokon to paso. The accent sounds in. Oh, the accent is pase. I see. Pase. Oh, sorry, not pase. Pese. Pese. Is there an accent mark in it? Or do you just write PC and then it just be read as pese? Oh, you just write pese. Okay. I see. Kind of reminds me of in the Japanese course where they use abbreviations like HEMU and HEMU SFFU SFFU something like that, sci-fi, or like I don't know, chi shatsu.
Quiero.
Yo quiero.
Quiere.
Quiere. ¿Tiene? ¿Tienes? La maleta. La niña no usa un... Wait! Hold up. There you go. Pirome. There you go. The synonyms still work even ahead of the stuff, so you can actually enter synonyms. In fact, I'm kind of impressed. I was surprised, sort of, that por favor took place of thanks multiple times. Equals tenés equals tú tienes. Oh, we should try that.
Tú no usas la computadora.
It has to be the one where we're entering the stuff, though.
Tú no usas la computadora.
Is that a question? Are you asking a question? I can't.
Tú no usas la computadora. Tú no usas la computadora.
Oh, it's not. It's fine. Okay. Hang on, I gotta ban the bot spam.
Hola, disculpe. Quiero más café con leche y la cuenta, por favor.
Yeah.
Hola, disculpe. Quiero más café con leche y la cuenta, por favor.
¿Necesitas ayuda?
It takes me longer to put the to find where the question marks are on the keyboard than everything else. Él tiene el boleto y pasaporte. Ah, él. Oh. Sorry, I wasn't reading the English sentence. Él no necesita más dinero. Okay. I was trying to find an example so we could try the los Both tenés. Tenés. Both tenés. Okay. Okay, time to listen. One thing.
Una cosa.
Is this a repeat? Usually these listening ones is a repeat, but only for listening.
Lucy está en casa con su nieta Lynn.
I don't... Oh yeah, wait. Oh no, this isn't a repeat.
Ay, no.
Oh yeah, this is a repeat.
Pan para mi sándwich.
Oh, this one's funny. I like this. Tenés. Great. Oh, okay.
¿Vas al supermercado?
Sí.
Ah, necesito una cosa del supermercado.
¿Qué?
Un tomate, por favor. Es para mi ensalada.
Está bien.
Gracias.
Y...
Ah, y también quiero 3 manzanas.
Está bien.
¿Y?
Jugo de naranja.
Lin.
Y leche, por favor.
Tengo una idea. Aquí está el dinero, Lin.
¿Qué?
Yo quiero una cosa del supermercado. Pan.
So there's a pause here. That's kind of weird. Like, this stuff doesn't translate very well. But they did do a pause in the voice. But, you know, they're just comma, pause, pan. Tomate, gracias. Por favor. También. Manzanas. Alright. And then now we do the...
Una cosa. Lucy está en casa con su nieta Lynn.
Ay, no. Necesito pan para mi sándwich.
¿Vas al supermercado?
Sí.
Ah, necesito una cosa del supermercado.
¿Qué?
Un tomate, por favor. Es para mi ensalada.
Está bien.
Gracias. Ah, y también quiero 3 manzanas.
Está bien.
Y jugo de naranja.
Lin.
Y leche, por favor.
Tengo una idea. Aquí está el dinero, Lin.
¿Qué?
Yo quiero una cosa del supermercado. Pan.
There you go. Por favor. Ensalada. Supermercado. Mercado. Quiero. Manzanas. Okay. Yep. Alright, now we do our personalized practice. Wait, what time is it? Oh, alright. Time's the ticking.
Ella es María.
Ella es María.
Mi pasaporte está aquí.
Mi pasaporte está aquí.
Mi hermana es muy inteligente.
¿Dónde está tu boleto?
¿Dónde está el teléfono? Está el teléfono.
¿Dónde está el aeropuerto?
Él eres. Tú Eres, es. Hermano.
¿Dónde está el supermercado? ¿Dónde está el supermercado?
Okay, this is personalized practice, so
Un gato y un perro.
being expedited. Un gato y perro. un.
Mi hijo es inteligente.
Yo tengo un hijo.
Tu hermano.
Please help me here. Can my hermana es muy inteligente be translated as my sister is very smart? How often Americans say intelligent over smart? That's a great question. Inteligente? I think most of the time it would translate to smart. I don't use the word smart too often. I'm gonna be real here though. I think the only time I ever say smart is when someone says that's smart or I am smart or inferring someone is smart. But I usually say intelligent. Yeah. Is there a word for smart in Spanish? Like, is smart higher or lower than intelligent? Is probably a better question as well. I don't have a smart. So smart is kind of weird. Why do I prefer to use intelligent instead of smart? Actually, no reason really. And instead of smart, I use clever. So, inteligente is often to me as intelligent, but clever is not inteligente. But I use clever instead of smart. And then I use witty if it's supposed to be funny. So one's clever. So intelligent is neutral. Intelligent is neutral. Sly is negative. Clever is positive. And witty is funny. And they are all examples of being smart. So I rarely use smart because it's too general. Like smart in what way? Eloquence is smart in speaking. So eloquent. Which I'm imagining there are Spanish words for all those, but I don't actually know. I don't actually know any of the Spanish words for them. Like, I'm not sure how you say eloquent. Basically very good at speaking, like smart at speaking. I'm not sure about witty either. Witty would be like funny, I guess. You would use funny instead. I would use the word funny. Or humorous. But yeah, smart is like bruh, in my opinion. So, not that I'm saying other people don't use the word smart. For me, it reminds me of the word bruh, which means like it means so many things. I'm not even sure I want to say smart anymore. Yeah. Like instead of saying a smart person, I would call them an intellectual. You're an intellectual. Instead of smart person. Smart, when someone works really well, I call them like hardworking as opposed to like smart. Or something like that. It's like, I don't really know what smart means these days. Is there a word for smart in Spanish? I'm actually kind of curious. I have no idea. unless it's supposed to be inteligente, then I'm curious, what is a word for intelligent? Like, what would you say for intelligence? Smart is slightly towards wise or experienced, and intelligent more like a skill. Oh, intriguing. What's the word for wise in Spanish? I don't actually know the word for wise in Spanish. Tu hermano.
Mi hijo.
Mi hijo.
Mi hermana es interesante.
I think this. Oh. Sabio? No. Sabio. Sabio? No, there's no accent on it. So Sabio. Where's the accent go? Is it the second or the first? I was gonna make a comment about this. Omoshiroi, like when omoshiroi is funny in this situation, where sabio, but without the tilde, yeah. Tilde? Oh, I don't know what that is called either, by the way. Yeah, the tilde thing is the enye, right? The enye, but I don't know what that's called either. The accent mark. Yeah, the accent mark, whatever it's called. If we were doing Chinese, I would say it's a tone 2 mark, but that doesn't help, does it? Okay, sabio. What'd you call it? Interesante. Now, when you're saying, you know, mi hermana es interesante, right? This word is really interesting as well. In Japanese, it means a lot of things. So I use the word interesting like other people use the word smart. Like bruh. So a bruh and interesting are in the same line. But instead of saying bruh and smart, I often say people are interesting. Oh, it's like, oh, that's interesting. Huh. That's an interesting remark. So instead of saying like, oh, that's a smart remark, I say that's an interesting remark, which is funny because interesting also means funny. And in Japanese, it means both. Or it means all of the above, actually. It means a lot of things. Omoshiroi. Omoshiroi means a lot of things. And my interesting also means a lot of things. So whenever I do have a sister, so that's why when I read mi hermana es interesante, what do you think that means? Because my sister is very interesting. Muy interesante.
Mi familia es interesante.
Wait, did you say muy?
Mi familia es interesante.
Oh, just interesante. No tengo un perro. No tengo hermano. También.
Mi abuela.
I got one. Hold up. Yo tengo tampoco. Oh, sí. Yo tengo Yo tengo tres hermanos de madre diferente. I'm trying to do brothers from another mother. Otra madre, right? Los hermanos, tengo hermanos, right? Tres hermanos de otra madre. So I usually refer to them as brothers from another mother. But I do have friends that I would consider basically brothers, right? But I don't actually know what the idiom for Spanish is for brothers from another mother. It might just be brothers. You just refer to them as los hermanos or something. In Chinese, right? In Chinese, you would call them like big bros and small bros, like ge, like ge, da ge, right? Kind of thing. Kind of like auntie and uncle, where like you're not related technically by like biologically related, but you're related by like su casa es mi casa kind of thing. Mi casa es su casa kind of thing.
Mi abuela.
Mi abuela. Like I think Spanish still goes throwing around tío, you know, tío and tía, right? Like, oh, this is my uncle, but you know, we just call him uncle because we're really close, not necessarily biologically. I like that. I really like cultures that do that, obviously. Sounds like a big fan. My three brothers from another mother that became more of a inside joke than anything is the reason why there are three of them is because they're identical triplets. So when I went to college, my closest friends that I've ever had in my life happens to be identical triplets. So there's always three of them when I talk about them. Just be careful with Tio. In Spain, they say Tio like guy. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Is guy like what? What happens? What happens when you accidentally call someone a guy? Instead of like what would happen? I'm a little confused. Like what is one being careful about? Oh, tipo. Okay. But what happens when you call someone a guy? That guy is cool. Okay. But what happens when you call a guy? There's, I mean, not a lot of things are gonna happen, right? It's just a guy. So the question is, you're saying be careful, right? This is a fear thing. Be careful. But when you're calling someone a Theo, like a guy, is there something to be careful about other than referring to the person as a guy?
Abuela.
Usually when you're being mindful and careful, there's like some sort of issue with saying guy. Oh, I see. Tipo, huh? Interesting. Just if you want to consume Spain-made content? I don't think that's relevant, but I get what you mean. I'm not sure if you get what I mean. So, like, it doesn't matter if it's, like, I guess I'll learn that, but you will listen Tio word often, but they won't be meaning uncle. Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Mi abuelo tiene fear-mongering. Mi abuelo tiene un hermano. Mi abuela tiene una hermana.
Sí, ¿y tú?
Sí, ¿y tú? I think one thing we tend to not connect with is the idea that when you provide like carefulness, you're assuming that I don't learn in context. So like if I want to consume Spain made content, I would have context. So probably it would be helpful. It'd probably be not a careful moment, largely because it'd be in context. Right? So oops.
Mi abuelo.
Mi abuelo. Accidentally hit A instead of O.
Yo tengo un perro.
No. No es verdad.
¿Él es tu hermano?
Él es tu hermano. ¿Hermano?
Mi hijo es inteligente.
Mi hijo es inteligente. Also, for the record, it's not like I don't consume Spain-made content. Gotta make that clear. And I don't think you have to if or what. That's a lot of hypotheticals.
Sí, ¿y tú?
Sí, y tú.
Oh no, punctuation.
Yo tengo una abuela.
Yo tengo una abuela. Oh, una abuela. I wasn't listening. Yes.
Tu abuela.
Mi abuelo tiene un hermano y una hermana.
Mi apartamento es perfecto.
Mi apartamento es perfecto. 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 Mi perro es bonito.
Mi carro es bonito.
Mi carro bonito.
Mi perro es bonito.
I guess you mix it up a bit. First time I played video games in Spanish when you were a kid, when in click games, it was a bit hilarious reading words like tío and mujer. So often I wasn't interested in the context back then, only wanted to enjoy the game. Interesting. Which game were you playing? Grim Fandango, maybe? Have you played Grim Fandango? I think I'm going to play Grim Fandango in Spanish. I just realized that's a great game to play in Spanish. You love Grim Fandango? Oh man, I think we're going to have to play Grim Fandango. I'm obviously the Grim Fandango. But it's such a good game to play in it. I'm still brainstorming like Spanish Monkey Island. I'm kind of like trying to brainstorm games that really lean towards Spanish. Like it gives you the good Spanish feel, right? That I can play nowadays. Like I can still load them up. Monkey Island I could load them up too. Or Spanish conquistador games, like exploration games, maybe like Caribbean, like Caribbean related things like piracy, like not piracy, that type of piracy, but pirates, like Caribbean games, like Gulf of Mexico kind of stuff. That would be great to see if there are Spanish things. Yakuza Spanish, surely. Yeah. Right now, yeah, Grim Fandango is a great one. Something that I really want to hear in Spanish. Anything with conquistador or the Spanish colonial period would be great. I think stay away from like war games though. War games don't really have that much dialogue or anything like that. It's just really people yelling phrases and catchphrases. So we're not talking about like Civilization or something like that. I could definitely try to find some pirate games, especially ones that take place in the Gulf of Mexico. Oops.
Mi perro es bonito.
Mi perro es bonito. We're gonna try to play at least a Spanish game, a game, any game really, a game in Spanish, in Chinese, and Japanese at some point, because we can't just keep language learning.
Yo soy Ana. Él es mi perro, Bruno. Bruno es perfecto.
Animal. We gotta like break it up every once in a while. So a point and click game are one of my backups. Visual novel games, point and click games. I play a lot of point and click games, or a new style of point and click games, Nico, like the Undertale era of point and click games, more like up, down, left, right, A and Z and X games, where you move around and you interact on a retro environment. So those type of games now are my backups. So they're usually localized in at least all the macro languages, including Japanese. Like, Japanese is not necessarily a macro language per se on the level of like that, but they include all of that, right? So at least we could read text. But I would love to hear some peeps. So it's still been very difficult to find. The games that I often think about have a Spanish character in them, like a Spanish speaking character in them, and they occasionally say like Spanglish things, like some Spanish, they throw in some Spanish here and there, but I haven't been able to think of a game that features dialogue like the way Like a Dragon, like Yakuza games, features Chinese and Japanese. It'd be really, really wonderful to have something like that. I did play a couple games that had a Spanglish in it. So like occasionally, if you are interested in South American words, a MS-DOS card game, Truco Apizer, Apizer, but it can be tough without rules. Interesting. I'll take a look at that this evening. Intriguing. 1985. I'm just gonna read this in English because I can't read all of this in Spanish very quickly. The first Argentinian Google game blows 30 candles sometime in, okay, so it turned 30 in 2015. To celebrate, they've uploaded to the disc and tell you a little more of its mysterious creation and surprising legacy, and full of secrets, lines of code, and badly something interesting. It's a card game. You got me interested. I like card games. I'll have to look into it. Thanks for the share. Interesting. And Vito is a made-up word for the card game itself. Oh, that's why it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Like, I like, okay. Interesting. I'll take a look. You play MS-DOS games? Nico, how old are you? I'm kidding. Sorry. I'm like 1985, boy. And truco, I wouldn't translate it. It is to trick or anything in this case. Ah, okay. I see. Nico, how old are you? How do you know this stuff?
Yo tengo un hijo.
It's not every day that someone goes around and say, check out this MS-DOS card game. You're older than time itself. This is before my time. Yeah, this is before my time. You probably linked to me one of the oldest games that I have ever heard from someone. You were an MS-DOS Windows 95 kid? I was a Windows 95 kid. Oh, actually, I lied. I guess the oldest game I've ever played was on Windows 95. Was on Windows 95 and it's Oregon Trail. But I was born way after Oregon Trail, the original Oregon Trail. But I played a re-release of Oregon Trail on Windows 95. That was my oldest game that I played. I was not playing video games at the moment in the MS-DOS days. The earliest game I've ever played. Yeah, I'm not that old. If you're bringing in MS-DOS. The oldest game I've ever played is probably... ...2020... Oh, no, not 2020. Uh, 1991? Yeah, 1991. Yeah, 1991 is the oldest game I've ever played, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 1. It might have been like 1991, 1992. 91 to 92. When I was 4 to 5 years old. Between 4 and 5 years old. Other than that, when I got a computer, I played old PC games, and the oldest one is Oregon Trail, for sure. And before Nico was like, well, you know what? Back in my Atari and Commodore 64 days, I'm like, oh yeah, I got nothing.
Yo tengo un hijo.
Yo tengo un hijo. Dude, tu madre? This phrase, it's you don't do tu madre. You don't do tu madre in a high school class. You're 37? Oh yeah, you're not that old. You're fine. We're basically the same time. We're basically the same time. I turned 38 like 2 weeks ago. I turned 38 11 days ago. But I do have a soft spot for old games, especially like text-based games. I played a modern game that was completely ASICs recently. I think it was called, hold up. What is it? I think it has black in it. Oh, it's a black edition. Sanctuary RPG. Sanctuary RPG. It's entirely text-based, and all of its thing is in A6. But it's a modern title. It's a modern title. It was just meant to look like A6. It was released in 2015, called Sanctuary. Sanctuary RPG. You know that game? Oh, now we're talking about the same stuff now. I'm feeling like we're connecting. Never played it? You traded for another game to a random? Oh, I see. I feel like we have a bonding moment now. You got it from some bundle? I see. Yeah, me too. I started playing it.
Un esposo y una esposa.
Un esposo. ¿Una esposa? ¿Ne?
Un esposo y una esposa.
Oh, it wasn't. You still got it? Bought it Steam at some point? Oh. Have you, Now I'm starting to think of all the old stuff that kids won't understand these days. Choose your own adventure books, and also text-based adventure games. Like, go to door, try to open door. I want to see. There are modern versions of it now. What is it called? Like, create your own dungeon uses that same thing. Now LLMs basically take place of that. I want to see that being done, maybe in a clever way in the future. But I could kind of see another revival of the text-based game with LLM backing. Mi hermano es interesante. By the way, for me, age has reverence to me. So I'm not sure about other people's cultures, but at least for myself, as a for diaspora of Chinese culture, and very maybe even unfairly a little bit biased, a partial. Age is very reverent to me. I speak and I act very differently to people who have more life experience than I do. So, age is not a crutch, or I guess depending on how you see it, but age is a thing that is unattainable when it comes to respective strangers. Like, no matter what, our age difference will never change, right? Unless, one of us pass away, right? So I think there's something incredibly poetic and elevated, especially in Eastern cultures, when it comes to someone's age. Not necessarily collective wisdom, but the idea is like related to collective wisdom. Some friends like them. The only similar book you've got was Cortázar's Rayuela. Cortázar's? Wait, is that Spanish? Rayuela. What is that? But it has only 2 ways of reading. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll pick your brain for some like earlier books. You did mention a couple books before already when we were talking about Don Quixote. The closest thing to Spanish that I watched recently, like in terms of show, was the Brazilian show 3%. It was in Portuguese, right? Brazilian Portuguese, but that's the closest thing. Did I watch it? Yeah. And then the next closest thing would be something like an animated movie like Coco or Encanto. Encanta? Oh, Encanta. Wait, Encanto. I don't actually know the title anymore. Encanto. Encanto. Oh. Nah, I don't think there was another language, like occasional another language. I probably watched them in Spanish. Wasn't Luca Italian? I don't remember. Luca. What was the location for Luca? Supposed to be. Botticelli. Oh yeah, it was Italian. Closest. I'm thinking of Romance languages now. Different Romance languages. That would definitely want to see again. Spanish shows? Next World Cup, you should try to watch. Oh, wait. Isn't the World Cup... Is the World Cup 2026? Or is it this year? 2026, right? The World Cup. Wait. Am I being stupid, or is... Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, wait a minute. You're right. You can definitely... Oh, that's a good... USA, Canada, Mexico. Yeah, so... Yeah, I'll probably try to watch it in Spanish. Or we can be... No, I'm just kidding. I think that'd be the closest. I doubt... Yeah, there's definitely... I don't think I've ever heard of a Japanese broadcast or a Chinese broadcast. Although, maybe. Huh. That is something to do. There's so many things to do when you're learning a language. Pretty much anything. You know? You can turn anything into a language thing. Apartamento. How does this work? Nope. That. Nope. That. I'm about to sneeze. I was trying to reach for my mute button and it doesn't work sometimes. And I was holding it in, my bad. Yeah. Oh, I accidentally typed something that I didn't even know how to type yet when I sneezed. Gracias. Salud. Oh, departamento works too? Interesting. Let's see if I get a chance to. What about bicicleta? There's got to be a smaller word than bicicleta, right? Hit me up. What's a shorter way to say bicicleta? Cleta? A bike? Do we have a word for bike? BC? Hold up. Wait, is it feminine still, or is BC feminine still? I'm just kind of curious. Now I'm just testing out these things. We gotta have fun with this. Well, we're about to find out. I was just double checking for the gender. I didn't know if like shrinking down a word would change its gender or not. I don't think I've ever encountered that, but just gotta ask. Dude, BC. We got BC now. I'm basically learning extra bonus. Un gato, un perro. Is there another word for gato and perro? You didn't think it? Yeah, I know, right? Now I can save time. You know? Not that I'll obviously I'll remember it, but no vivo en Francia. Okay. Tienes. Tiene un gato. Shorter than gato and perro? No? Okay. You know this is gonna be a regular thing, right? Whenever I get like a really long word, I'm just gonna ask you, is there a shorter word? That's a fun way to learn things. Él tiene una casa. Or you could be funny and say a very long word instead of a short word. Like, well, you know, there's this way, and it's like 30 characters long. It's like, oh, well, we can use that to flex every once in a while, you know? Did you ever did I already tell you? I'm not sure if you follow Duolingo or not, but the founder is Guatemalan. I'm not sure if that has any effect on how they decided to do the Spanish thing, but yeah. Luis Vandan is Guatemalan. All right. Train ticket for today. All right, let's see who this is.
Welcome back to Lucy is Listening, where I uncover hidden messages in everyday conversations.
It's the stock AI.
Before we listen in, here are some words you should know.
You should know. That always gives it away. That often gives it away when you go, no.
Necesito. Hoy. Boleto. Dólares.
Oh, Dolores.
I'm your host, Lucy, and today we're listening to an odd encounter at a train station.
Buenos días.
Hola, necesito un boleto para este tren. Necesito un boleto para este tren.
¿Para hoy?
Sí, es importante.
$10, por favor.
Sí, tengo dinero en mi cartera. Aquí está el dinero. Tengo dinero en mi cartera.
Gracias. ¿Usted tiene maleta?
No, no necesito maleta.
Aquí está el boleto.
Gracias. Adiós.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. quite inexpensive, $10. What are what are train? Oh wait, how far are you? Oh wait, I guess it depends on the type of train. The type of train here, we don't have the place where I live is not near the city, so we don't have like a that type of train, like a local commute train. But when I was thinking about the opposite. It's like $10 train ticket. It's like $30 train ticket now. but this is traveling like an hour to 2 hours away. So yeah, $10 for like going from local, like one city block to the next city, like that's really expensive.
I'll get to the bottom of this. Remember, I'm always listening.
She's not animating because it hasn't been updated. The desktop version is lacking some TLC. And you don't have the legend. All right.
Señora, ¿necesita usted un taxi?
Oh yeah, here's a good example. Here it is.
Señora.
See, it has the comma, and then they use usted. Even though you don't have to say it, you just necesita un taxi, right? Señora, ¿necesita usted un taxi? Yeah, this is the weird ones. Whenever it's in the front.
¿Necesitas ayuda, Bruno?
Yeah, so now it doesn't have it because Bruno is at the end. What do you?
¿Necesitas ayuda, Bruno?
¿Necesita ayuda, Bruno?
Tú necesitas dinero.
Dinero. I bet you can get away with dólares. There.
Por
favor.
Favor.
Oh, you could probably still get away with... Wait. Hold up. Let's see. Yo quiero un té? Okay. You can probably get away with... Perdón. Necesito... Let's see, un té. Un té. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's quiero. Sorry. My bad. I gotta try that again. We'll try that again in a bit. Make harder? Oh. I didn't even realize these ones you make harder by... Oh. Interesting. Oh, so you can just default. I see. Okay. La mujer necesita ayuda. I don't know why I'm tripping on it. Oh, you're using it? What were you using Duolingo for? I'm kind of curious. I use the word bank for speed, really, but let's... Can I get... No, I can't get... Fine.
¿Quieres?
¿Quieres? Yeah. ¿Quieres?
Una banana.
Yeah, this one... Oh, so they have separate things. Okay, okay. Like for example, we can totally tengo un café. Oh no, this one no. This one doesn't work. Oh, I keep typing the wrong thing. Sorry. I'm trying to say perdón, and you were using Duolingo for Japanese starting around late 2023, right before the update. Yikes.
Disculpe.
I have no idea what that's like, but you know, I've heard enough from other people.
Necesito agua.
El niño quiere pan.
Por favor, yo quiero un té.
I've got the article. What do I need?
Por favor, yo quiero un té.
Okay. Hold? No. We could test this. Yeah, we could test this. I'm kind of curious. Okay, never mind. That's too much.
Quiere un café.
That's too much. Because you could see it like, oh no, but it has to be in the front first. It has to be a prompt in the front. We're gonna have to do it in the front though. Más bread. Sorry. Necesito más bread. Oh, necesita un what?
Él necesita un carro.
Oh, here's where I wanted to try it, right? Because it's an address, right? So, here it is. Oh no. No. Okay. You can also say, por favor, necesito un taxi. Not sure how Duolingo will rate that. Interesting. Oh yeah, the other way around. Yeah, to like you can do this, right? You can turn it around. Por favor. Usually this is fine because in Japanese it's fine. As well, which is a little even more eclectic. In this case. Right. Oops. I keep writing necesito. Quiero café. Womp womp. Well, we tried. Womp womp. In Japanese, when sometimes you need to flip. Oh no, like this is the fun part, right? We get to try these. What'd you call it? No. I don't think they considered it. Because in Japanese, when you do the address, it can be flipped both sides. So I think people just didn't complain, you know, for like it's fun to test these things, right? Because I don't think please I need a taxi versus I need a taxi please. I don't think it's fun to test these things though. Otherwise, how can you have fun with all your knowledge? I need to get past these units so I can ask you for a synonym. Oh, that's such a fun way. Oh, wait. I think this might work. Hold up. Let's try it. Oh no, did I already try this? I think I already tried this. It doesn't work. It's like instead, excuse me, I want a tea, right? No. I think I already tried this. We'll just go and watch this. Yeah, there are also flipped examples. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. In Japanese, they do that too. So the ones that have flip examples don't accept this stuff. Yeah, see, this is the reverse. But usually you can get away with a lot of things. There were times where you just cut out half the sentence for the sake of brevity. Not in Spanish. I'm not. Obviously, we will find out later on. Maybe way later we'll find out if we can cut corners. But in Japanese, you can totally cut corners.
Yo necesito usar el carro.
Yo necesito usar el carro.
Yo no tengo mi cartera.
Yo no, what? No, what?
Yo no tengo mi cartera.
Tú no tienes el pasaporte.
Tú no tienes el pasaporte. Ish.
Yo uso mi teléfono.
Yo uso mi teléfono. Do you watch One Piece at all, Nico? I've been trying to become hip, trying to catch up with the hip. So all I can think about right now is One Piece. Like all the languages, like Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, whenever I'm thinking about something I need to say, I'm just thinking about what would be said in One Piece right now. We're like on episode 200 something, 200 and... No, I think we're on 300 something. I don't remember anymore. I kind of stopped paying attention between every 100. No? I think the language that... the reason why I bring it up is the language that One Piece use is very, very approachable in Japanese. Like, it is so approachable. You hear, I can almost even think, this is from a novice perspective, so nothing like advice or anything like that. It's more like after watching so much One Piece in the last month, right? I think it's been 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks, so we're on like, I think I just completed the latest arc. The language itself is so approachable. Not that it's the most engaging type of thing. Yeah, I think I'm on episode 315. Yeah, 315. It's so approachable that you can start I started passively just listening to One Piece. Like, oh yeah, yep. It's quite nice. It's kind of like my reward in the evening. It's like, oh hey, I'm gonna watch like 4 or 5 episodes of One Piece on 1.25 speed. Actually, I watch it with 1.25x as well. Nowadays. ¿Tienes el boleto? Oh, no tienes. Whoops.
El hombre usa el teléfono.
I wasn't reading.
Yo no uso mi teléfono. Mari, tú no tienes un teléfono. ¿Quieres mi teléfono? Hola, Bruno. Soy Ben. Necesito usar tu computadora. Tengo un examen y necesito estudiar.
Ben no tiene.
Hola, Bruno. Soy Ben. Necesito usar tu computadora. Tengo un examen y necesito estudiar.
They don't have a computer.
Yo no tengo mi pasaporte.
Porte. ¡Ah! Oh, no.
¿Usted tiene mi maleta? Es una maleta grande y azul. Mi pasaporte está en la maleta. ¿Usted tiene mi maleta? Es una maleta grande y azul. Mi pasaporte está en la maleta.
Okay. Wait, what was it?
Tengo mi
it's
maleta,
me.
mi pasaporte y mi... ¿No? ¿Dónde está mi boleto?
Oh, wait. Oh, I could use this. Hold up. Maybe it's still la? Pese. La pese. That's hilarious. Oh, wait. We could also do... El? Okay, so they say el. Okay. I'll have to try that. Wait. How would you... What's another way you would say this? Maybe like eres usando teléfono. Oh, by the way, I think so. I'm not sure if they have Japanese subtitles. They probably do. I'm actually kind of curious on Netflix if they subbed, multi-subbed and multi-dubbed. Actually wouldn't mind listening to One Piece in Spanish, actually. Maybe I should swap over occasionally to Spanish if they are Spanish. I doubt it. I don't think they have a Spanish cast. But it'll be kind of fun to watch One Piece in Spanish. I don't remember how to do this. Oh, thanks, Nico. Some shows have Japanese subtitles in your region,
Some
others
shows
don't.
has Japanese subs in my regions, others doesn't.
Oh, okay. Overlord has a Japanese sub while Severin doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. No. How do you conjugate? How do you do? Do you use? You use está, don't you? I was supposed to do estás. Estás usando teléfono. Right? It's not seer. I think I screwed up. No tienes un boleto. The ticket.
Yo no tengo mi pasaporte.
I'm being it's all gone now.
Yo no tengo mi pasaporte.
I'm being so reckless. Hold. ¿Estás usando? ¿Está usando el teléfono? Nailed it. Oh, there you go. ¿Estás usando el teléfono? Okay. Yeah, yeah, graduated. We got Birome and Pese. Oh boy, this is fun. It's so many spoilers. I'm sure they have it. I'm sure they'll add it like way down the line. The way Duolingo likes to teach language is through synonyms and antonyms. So, I wouldn't be surprised they accept it because it's a later answer for the same prompt. Again, like the prompt itself, the English prompt wouldn't change, but the vocabulary changes. It's happened in Japanese. Chinese? Yeah, happened in Chinese, but Chinese, the Chinese course was a lot shorter. It was very dense. Oh. I'm not reading. Okay. That's enough shenanigans, right? Now we complete for the day.
Yo no necesito una maleta.
Oh, crud. It's 3 a.m. Yo necesito una maleta. Time flies when you're having fun.
Un carro.
What?
Él necesita un carro.
Él necesita un carro. Oh, yeah.
Rafael, ¿tienes dinero?
Rafael, necesita dinero? Come on.
Rafael, ¿tienes dinero?
Oh, tienes. Tienes. Dinero. Re-listen, yeah.
Rafael, ¿tienes dinero?
El niño quiere pan.
Sí, yo tengo mi teléfono.
El ibe quiero. Oh, another word for boy. Interesting. Oh! Sorry, I'm thinking about Brett. When I was reading your comment, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. This is normal stuff. I like read your comment. I'm like, wait. Okay.
Marco, usas el teléfono.
Oh, it's feminine? Oh, okay, okay. Okay. I think I asked. Oh, I'm not sure if I asked that.
Marco, usas el teléfono. Marco, usas el teléfono. Marco, usas el teléfono.
Oh, okay. Is there another word for teléfono? What's the word for smartphone? Yeah. What's the is there a word for smartphone? Oh, it depends on country, I see. Give me cellular. Okay. Oh, I needed
Necesito ayuda.
I needed an article. Is cellular the masculine? I forgot the article.
Necesito ayuda.
Wow, you're so loud. Mobile. Oh, mobile. Interesting. I like to say smartphone, but sometimes people look at it weird. Okay. I was expecting something like smaho or something, you know, like how Japanese do be doing it, just like, I don't know, smarto. That'd be kind of funny. I'll probably get an LK moment from like what? Necesito. Oh, you need. Oh, I'm just not paying attention.
Yo no
anymore.
necesito usar el carro.
All right. We need to pay attention.
No, yo no necesito usar el carro.
Cellular. Tablet. Interesting. Notebook. Really? Notebook. Huh.
El niño usa la computadora.
Wait, is it él?
El niño usa la computadora.
Oh, wait. I can't do this. I have to actually do what he's saying. Just kidding.
El niño usa la computadora.
Ah! Sorry. Oh, for laptop, I see. Oh, right.
Yo uso el carro.
Oh, here it is. Here's the usted again. Right, usted. Señor. Señor, pause. Usted usa teléfono. El teléfono. Although now I kind of want to try. Is it el? Is this masculine? You would translate it as what? ¿Está usando el teléfono? Yeah. Me too. They did accept it though. They did accept usando phrases. Or estoy, estar and to combine estar and usar. So maybe that's for later. Most of these things are going to change for later. Usually, if they're not introduced, they introduce it like one at a time. So, usually most of these turn of phrases will come about later. It starts really weird a lot of times, largely because you have to start somewhere. Gotta pay attention.
La niña no usa un bolígrafo.
Yo no necesito una maleta.
No, yo no necesito usar el carro.
Él.
¿Tú usas el teléfono?
That Duolingo voice sounded too robotic. La niña. Yeah. It's a default one.
¿Tú usas el teléfono? ¿Tú usas el teléfono? ¿Tú usas el teléfono?
Oh, I missed the accent.
Él quiere un té. Él quiere un té.
Oops. Oh, that was a question. Okay.
Yo no quiero más pan, gracias.
¿Él quiere un té was a question? Wow, you didn't notice either. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. The synthetic voice is it doesn't account for that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So you just take a guess. They don't grade you on it, so you have to figure it out. You just take a swing at it.
Yo no quiero más pan, gracias.
Ah. No, I don't. In some accents, questions are more obvious than others. Yes. Yeah, some of the voice banks have if you're talking about the between the peeps, yeah. It also varies between prompts. There's a prompt type difference too. So like Oscar, like whoever they're using for the word bank, like they have separate voice samples for each person, but the prompts also change the context of it. So depending on it's the a particular prompt, they can vary too. Sometimes it's obvious and then sometimes it's not, because the prompt itself forgot to input whether it's a question or not, or like it varies. Yeah, it's a part of the nature of the beast. It's something I've become very accustomed to, but the it's not a bad or a good thing for me, largely because if you know, you know, kind of situation. But I totally understand when people get worried, like, oh, but what if you get used to it? It's like, I understand. So we don't use this as our only form of input.
No, yo no necesito usar el carro. Yo no quiero más pan, gracias.
Kampu as a shorter for computadora, but I guess it's too casual and regional? Oh. We won't be able to try that until next time. But isn't that fun to try? This is actually part of my fun with Duolingo. At a later stage, like, for example, I know you don't use Duolingo for Japanese anymore, but in the new Japanese course, the one that came after 2024, right? 2024 is when they swapped. They spend the first like 3,000 plus vocabulary using kana only. And then somewhere in section 3, unit 27 is when they then reset the bar and everything and only primarily write kanji like kanji replacement sentences, and you build up again using all the hearing and the kana you built up to replace them all with kanji afterwards. So I'm like a bit after that. It was after 200 days or so, right? And then the last 100 days you did that, and you can type whatever you want. So over some times when you're having fun, like, I'm just gonna type this in kana, and then back and forth. So in this way, you can type all the synonyms too. So like at some point when you're like, you know, this expressed something, it's fun to experiment, in my opinion, just for gags, lulls, and giggles. So like there are phrases like, wait a minute, I can just type this instead. You read somewhere Duo itself that Duolingo has around 1350-ish. It's like 1300 plus. for Japanese. Yeah. No, that's where I think that's where it is. We're not there. We're not there yet, but I think Wanikani has already introduced more kanji in the long run. Yeah, I know. 1300. 1300 plus. 900 before in 2023, probably. $900 kanji is why you left Duolingo. I don't understand. That logic doesn't check out. If you don't know the 900 kanji, it's not like you... Like, I don't understand. So you just wanted a tool that you need to know that that's that many kanji in order to stick with it? That's interesting. I think there's a little bit of a leap of logic in that. There's a slight leap of logic. But I'll leave it at that for today. I think most people kind of think about learning as an end goal versus a process oriented. So that comment is very end goal oriented, which I don't usually relate to. Too much kanas. You wanted skill lessons to add more kanji. I guess you broke your account. I guess you broke your account by skipping. You wanted to skip lessons to add more kanji. I guess you broke your account by doing that. I really don't know how it works in 2023. But starting from 0, right? Let's just say you have all your kanji. Skipping to section 3, unit 27 is probably where it would just start. So it would just add it would add 17-ish kanji each per unit on average. So like if you complete a unit a day, which I don't, it takes me like 3 days, and then I use like a 6-day cycle, you're responsible for 17 kanji terms related every single day. And it was a lot easier, in my opinion, because I already know what all the kanji sounds like and all the vocabulary, what it sounds like. So that's why Wanikani is still reviewed too, where just because I don't know what the kanji sounds like, when it plays, I can hear. And sometimes by default, it sets on romaji instead of kanas. It resets, so it sets back to romaji because the app was updated. So it's not sometimes, it's not random. Every time it resets your preferences, it's that the app got updated. So here's another thing though. You could argue though, oh yeah, they should have allowed to save your preferences and stuff. It's like, well, for me, the reason why it resets is because they probably updated the app. And usually it's either background apping or something else, which I've already noticed from that, largely because I used Duolingo for quite some time. You kind of know these idiosyncrasies in and out. Especially if you have a background in programming and whatnot, these are kind of oversights that you could argue it's a QOL thing and a QC thing. Yeah. Anyways, today we learned 12 terms. It wasn't that much, right? Because all the other ones were recycled. So Uso, I mean, you'll probably find out later. I resumed Duolingo Japanese in April. Yeah, in April sometime. Probably right on April, because I don't think I'm gonna have a problem liberating some time for this. Let's see, Usar. Spanish, English works great. Your niece improved her English a lot just with Duolingo songs. Interesting. YouTube content, but she started with Duo. Interesting. I learned a couple of phrases from the recent Korean the Squid Game 2 promo, so I guess it's kind of funny. Here's my take on Duolingo. Right? Here's my take on Duolingo. I agree with what they're trying to do. That's probably my bottom line. And what I mean by that is if you started with Duolingo and you learn to come to hate Duolingo, it did its job. Because if that hate turned into something that you want to enrich yourself even more, then they did their job, in my opinion. And I don't think the president, the CEO of Duolingo, and most of the people at Duolingo had a vision otherwise. So the reason why I say that is because when the one thing that stuck with me the longest about Duolingo CEO when he answers a question about competition, right? Like, oh, what's the future for Duolingo? Is it gonna integrate LLMs to compete with other people who uses AI powered stuff and whatnot, right? It's like, sure, that is it, right? But in his words, or like a paraphrase of his words in many different interviews, is that who do you think the competition for Duolingo is? It's TikTok. So the you know, when you start thinking like, oh, well, if my kid is jamming to a song and they realize that language learning can be fun, and then they like spend a couple months and they start to hate Duolingo, and then they decided, oh, I can learn language some other way. It's like, well, that is still a win, in my opinion, for Duolingo, right? Largely because, well, what is the alternative? You can doom scroll on TikTok and learn nothing, right? Is though to compete against Duo as a kickstart to introduce a new... Yeah, it's tough to compete against Duo as a kickstart to introducing a new language, yeah. And I think in that way, it's both a bane, right? It's both becoming the enemy, right? Becoming the enemy of seriousness, but at the same time, competing with a serious other thing that's not even in the realm for people who are dedicated to language learning. So I'm not suggesting that everyone is a serious language learner, but those who become a serious language learner do not even have to worry about doom scrolling. For example, if you already have graduated and dislike Duolingo for what it's doing, like aggressively dislike what Duo is doing for language learning, as in all the engagement, all the dopamine designs and whatnot, then you are a serious language learner, right? And you're not doom scrolling on TikTok. It's self-selection, in my opinion. So that's great. That's kudos. But then when you think about kids and you want them to start a new language, and you're like, oh yeah, here you go. Start up your Anki session. Here, I'll even make it so it's easy, and then I'll make up all the Anki stuff for you, and then you can do it. Meanwhile, the kid's like, can I just watch TikTok instead? Because this stuff is too serious for me. And that's kind of what that's what I mean by that. So every time when someone says they used to use Duolingo and now they continue to learn another language, I'm like, neat. That's exactly what I've expected. Or at least in my opinion, that's a win. That's a win. When other obviously it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are people who use Duolingo and continue that way, disinterested in maturing their learning, and that's where, you know, the serious people will have a concern about, right? Where like, oh, but if you really want to up your level and whatnot, at some point you must not become too dependent. Yeah, it's exchanging. The very pragmatic argument is exchanging a dependency for another dependency. And that feels more like I'm going to use a very real example here. That's like smoking and then switching over to e-cigarettes. Now, I'm not trying to make the association with another thing, but that's kind of like, it's a step, right? It's a step. But it's very real. The aggressive nature of how you have to compete. Make like, I do this every day. I've done this for like 5 to 6 years, talking about education, how video games can be enriching. It can be used to teach life lessons. You can observe and create creativity. You can make money by creatively engaging in consuming content in order to create ideas. All of this stuff, that's fallen on deaf ears. That's nowhere near as influential and impactful than doom scrolling on TikTok. Like, you can do that for nonstop. So every time I hear a kid complaining about Duolingo, I'm like, well, at least they're not complaining about TikTok. At least in my opinion. For now, right? Like, oh man, I ran out of, imagine, I don't even want to hear this, but I feel like this is a thing. Imagine one day a kid's gonna come up to you and say, dude, I ran out of content to doom scroll. I'm a little worried sometimes. In fact, I've already heard a bit of this, anecdotally speaking. I've already heard a bit of this where someone said, I don't have like any content. I'm interested in doom scrolling. Like, what do you mean you don't have any content you're interested in doom scrolling? There's everything, and you don't even form attachments to them. So, if you can form an attachment long enough to Duolingo to hate it, like to say it's not enough, like I need more, I'm like, good job. Good job, Duo, and good job to you, right? Good job to the person who realized, okay, I have grown more. I have grown out of Duolingo. It's kind of like, congratulations, you are ready for the next step, or you want to voluntarily take the next step. And that's kind of what this feels to me most of the time. It's like, yeah, I'm doing it because it reminds me of all the stuff that I've learned, and it's not perfect, obviously, but most people are. Well, social media also hates consumers, i.e. YouTube won't allow you to create your own favorite channel list or content, not without a plugin, but spams you shorts every time you can't. Yes, I understand, Nico. You definitely seem like someone from a similar generation. Also, YouTube rewards people who upload videos every time and punish who doesn't. That's true, sort of. You subscribe to a lot of channels, lots, yeah. So that's sort of true. More like a very specific formatting, right? Very specific formatting, because I upload a video every time as well, but it also punishes like long formats and you know, it's not, they're not like intentionally punishing something. They're more strongly favoring something else, if you know what I mean. So like YouTube doesn't have to punish anyone. They favor something that works really well, and because of that favoritism, it creates that imbalance, right? So no one's like maliciously. They removed that feature because it's less used, so it's grooming, right? Like it's yeah, no, but now hear me out. Most of the features that YouTube remove is based on statistics and use. So removing a feature means it was less popular most of the time. That is more logically sound to suggest than suggesting that they have some sort of malicious intent behind it. It's kind of like a Duolingo's feedback feature, the discussion feature. It was more in the interest of being pragmatic than it is something particularly malicious. It's different from saying they removed the feature because they hate the community versus they removed the feature because it was either costing resources that have diminished return, especially from the consumer's from the business operating perspective. when regarding consumer feedback. That's when I'm old, I'm assuming the worst of it. It's understandable though. I think life has a way of accumulating all the cynicism, right? And I don't want to be like a strong contrarian. I think even in old age, trying to find a way not to be too cynical about other people makes one healthier, less stressed out, right? I understand that there are lots of malicious people out there or self-interest people, for sure. But sometimes finding ways to believe in the goodness of people, or at least the pragmatic things in people, kind of alleviates the stress of oneself. I know I sound a little bit sappy most of the time, but I think overall, in general, I have become quite lucky in my life, largely because I tend to be someone that people don't like get exhausted hearing from, because I am overly sappy most of the time, or at least trying to be politically neutral. If I were to try to sound like an optimist, I'm like, oh yeah, YouTube definitely cares about the consumer. I'm not saying that. There are many actions where they care about their business. Their business is what they care about. And oftentimes that doesn't have any feelings of malice, but it also doesn't have any feelings of favoritism, right? They didn't favor this format in isolation. Consumers also fed this preference. So one in the same, like we're all in it together. And it would be interesting moving forward. But one thing is very cute though, is I honestly think Duo knows how, at least the people at Duo, the content creators that they employed. So Louise got asked about who creates Duolingo content for like the channel, and I think they got winners. I personally think if there's anything that I would see, I'm not going to name particular influencers, but the difference between a child dancing and twerking to Duo versus dancing and twerking for other reasons. I'm not by the way, I don't have significant others or an immediate family. I just really care about kids all the time because I wanted to be a teacher. Like I love seeing kids grow up, especially kids who find their way to solving problems, conquering the world, right? Maybe helping society when I'm like too old and decrepit. So I have a very soft spot for doing everything possible in order to suggest a better growing environment. And one thing for sure is Duo is like the stuff that's coming out. Duo is not telling you to aggressively punch someone just because you feel like it, for example, right? Or it's okay to light fireworks in a, I don't know, there's so many examples that are egregiously unhinged due to influencer behavior, and it gets normalized. Meanwhile, Duo is like, okay, well, you can do this instead, which is great. I think it might be asking for a lot, but it's kind of a wholesome moment. At least that's how I have come to understand Duolingo. By all means, though, we definitely outgrow Duolingo, and then we start over with something else. Although this is the last time, so for now, who knows? We might try French or something. Okay. I wanted to leave it on a less cynical note. And Nico, you're 37. I'm 38. I think we can save being super cynical until we're like 50 or 60. I think, if you know what I mean. Like sometimes the stress kind of melts a little bit away when we're not investing so much, at least we're trying not to invest so much energy in thinking of the worst of everything. I think people have an active, the difference between someone who's glowing in neutrality or glowing in like reliability is kind of one in the same as one feels about oneself. Like I still learn to trust, I still can trust strangers all day, all the time, but it's the hurt is less, not because when I get, when the troll comes by or something, the hurt is less not because it hurts any less, it's because I'm stronger. So oftentimes like, oh yeah, that's what happens, there's another feature that's gone, but let's do something about it, or let's go find an outlet for that, that kind of thing. So so oftentimes one can end up being, okay, that feature's gone, I will continue, let's go look for something better, right? And that ultimately saps up all your time. So you're always seeking for better things as opposed to focusing and letting bad things hold you down. Not saying that I think you sound like a very happy person, Nico. Like, and also you're clearly a parent as well. Yeah, the stream is ending, Hooks. Like giving like cynicism, our own cynicism. We're not, this is not a competition, but I have a lot of social mania, right? Like I concern myself with a lot of things, and that is it. It can spiral, it can cripple into anything. Like when you start being negative about one thing and then you're concerning yourself with another thing, it just starts to consume your life. And I more or less have done that to some extent, but being very overly educated, so when you start taking in more information on internet, finding little wins here to constantly seek for better things as opposed to letting cynicism continue to consume you, I think in the end the people around you will probably naturally love that, especially your child. And can't rub off too much cynicism, get off my lawn, kids, too soon. All right, on that very, very positive note, or an attempt to be a positive note, I'm heading out today. Tomorrow we're gonna try really, really hard to start early and end early, because tomorrow is anime night and we're doing that again. So just gonna chill with some buddies. Thanks again, Nico. Always appreciate it. Hopefully everyone else is doing well. Oh no, this is just a personal thing. Like I have to switch my schedule around a little bit because I'm hanging out with the hippos again, we are watching Melancholy Haruhi Suzumiya. I'm like rewatching with them again. TLC, hang out with your friends, right? Find hopefully everyone has friends, significant others to chill, enjoy their hobbies and whatnot, while also continuing to learn. I think this stuff is never, in my opinion, almost never exhausting, except for my body, on the mind, when you do all the things to make your life happier, right? So I make time for that, for sure. So until next time, right? If you're gonna watch this later, muchas gracias, right? Muchas gracias. Until next time, hasta luego. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next time. Adios.